And to be honest, I'm going to tell you the fact here. Tommy, I don't know if you can record it, but Tommy has got balls. Like, massive. I come from Nigeria.
Hey guys, and welcome back to the Based and Bougie show. So basically, guys, it's very early in the morning. I'm very tired. I don't know if you guys can see the bags in my eyes, but I'm so tired these days. Basically, I'm going to a demo, and basically, Peter Cardwell, he's a host at Talk TV, decided to make a very silly and just stupid comment, right? And basically, he around, and today he's gonna find out. He around, and today he's gonna find out. So basically, long story short, he went on Big Talk TV and basically said Tommy Robinson's racist. And my thing is, mainstream media, haven't you done enough? Haven't you guys done enough? Like, the guy's already sitting in the jail cell. He won't be able to see his kids for another year again because of these stupid remarks that these people keep making about him being a racist. And the reason why I definitely would drop everything in my day to be there is because I've had interactions with Tommy Robinson, and I can tell you now, the man is not racist. He's not. I've been around racist people. Racist people will look at you like this. They will look at you up and down as if you're dirt under their shoe. Racist people won't even refer to you with your name. Racist people won't even have a conversation with you. Tommy Robinson is the most humble person on the planet. Every interaction I've had with him, face to face, or even, you know, through DMs, he's always been so nice, so humble. He's always the first person to be like, darling, I'm so sorry I can't make it, or darling, I'm very busy right now, I'll get back to you, or darling, do you know what, if you need it. Such a nice man. So it blows my mind when the media keeps doing this. Not only that, but there's so much evidence to prove that this man is not racist. In fact, when he founded the EDL, I think, I may be wrong, but I saw somewhere that he was even supporting Christian Nigerians as well.
Bring the whole country together. I said, one of my main mottos is black and white unite. Unite the colours, unite the faiths in the face of extremism.
So my thing is just one, why does the mainstream media keep lying? And two, why do other ethnic groups see all of this evidence that he's not racist and still continue to jump on the bandwagon? Sorry, so that's why it's very important for me today to be here. And what they try to do is they try to throw out these harsh words like racist, Islamophobic, transphobic, so that when people see those headlines, they completely even dismiss the thought of even trying to hear the person out. And my thing is, guys, if you are against Tommy Robinson, if you hate him, just watch a 1 hour interview. Just watch 1 hour interview, because I was also in your shoes. I watched one interview and my mind did backflips. I remember just being confused. Like, how can this happen? Like, racist? I don't hear anything racist. And that's when my trust for the mainstream media completely disappeared. So yeah, guys, today we are riding out outside of Talk TV, and I'm just gonna like vlog the day, get some interviews for you guys, and yeah, it should be fun.
And they basically said that he was a far-right, racist, Islamophobic extremist. And me being 11 years old and very impressionable, I believed it. Until maybe 12, 14 years later, he came up on my FYP, and I decided to just watch an interview. It was just a 1 hour interview. So as I was watching the interview, I was waiting to hear that right-wing, extremist, Islamophobic, racist comment, and I couldn't hear anything. So I decided to watch a second interview, waiting for that right-wing, extremist, Islamophobic comment, still couldn't hear anything. I decided to watch a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth interview, and I still couldn't find this character that they've painted Tommy Robinson out to be. Now, I'm a very curious individual, so when I'm intrigued by something, nothing will stop me from exploring it. And after watching a couple of Tommy Robinson's interviews, I realized that this man was on a mission not to create an all-white Britain, but to actually protect Britain and to protect children. That's it. From 2008 to 2024, all Tommy Robinson has been on a mission to do, he's actually sitting in a jail cell right now, was to simply protect Britain and to protect children. Yeah. Now, to everyone who is offended by that message, I strongly ask you, why are you offended by those messages? Why are you offended by your own borders being protected? Your children are living in these borders. Your grandchildren will be living in these borders. Why would that be something that would be offensive to you? The second thing I ask you is, why would you be offended by the fact that young children are being drugged, kidnapped, raped, and groomed? Why is that an offensive message? I really want to ask you guys to question yourself that, in fact, if you get offended by the fact that children are being kidnapped, drugged, raped, and groomed, I'm so sorry to break it to you, but you are demonically possessed. If you are too busy being offended rather than being protective, you are demonically possessed, and I pray for you. And I just wanted to say, how did we land in a place in a society where wanting to protect our children can lead a man in jail? How can we land in a place in a society where a person wanting to protect their borders will be labeled a racist or the reincarnation of Hitler? How did we get to a place in a society that when Tommy Robinson says black, Asian, Pakistan, everyone's on a speakerphone calling him every name under the sun, but when he says, hey world, young girls are being raped, the same people who scrutinize him are silent? I really encourage you guys to question that, but I can give you the answer. The answer is godlessness. The answer is our ability, our obsession with secularism and completely abandoning our Christian roots that actually built this country. The Bible is very clear that if you harm children, you are better off having a rope strung around you. The Bible is very clear that children are a gift of the Lord. But because we have abandoned Christian roots, we have completely forgotten the importance of protecting our own children. The Bible is also very clear about borders. In fact, I think the book of Nehemiah is about a man who built a wall around his whole country. And God is against this whole one world, one government system. He's against that. He wants everyone to have their own culture and their own, languages. This is something that he's against. So I strongly encourage Christians. In fact, I put you to a challenge. It might be a very hard challenge, but I encourage you to just watch 1 hour interview of Tommy Robinson. That's all I encourage you to do. And then ask yourself if what he said in that interview matches what the media has painted him out to be. Thank you, guys.
All right. Hi guys, so I'm here with Brown Boy the Traveler. So he recently made a video where when he was at the Tommy Robinson demo, and it went viral. The reason why it went viral is because so many people were shocked at how many black and ethnic supporters that Tommy Robinson had. And I actually looked at your comments and you lot got quite a few hate for it. Like a lot of people saying that you was a sellout. So what made you do that? What made you kind of go against the status quo and say, you know what, I'm going to find out for myself what's going on?
Well, I've seen so many videos of Tommy and people interviewing his supporters. So I kind of wanted to do something different because everything was kind of the same. People asking the same question. So let the message come from someone of color because it hits different. So I wanted to see, when I seen so many black people there, I was like, wow, let me go and interview this because I want to hear what they've got to say. Do you know what I mean? Because it takes a lot of balls as us as a people, as black people, to come to these protests because they are going against the grain, they're labeled names. So I wanted to hear and I was curious, do you know what I mean? It wasn't that I was not bothered about anybody else's opinion because everyone's opinion is just justified and obviously they're allowed to have their opinion. But I just wanted to hear from the black community why they were there, and they gave me their response to why they were at Tommy Robinson and why they supported him.
And why do you think there's a lot of black people? Because I personally get a lot of DMs of people saying you're doing a great job, keep supporting Tommy Robinson, but publicly they don't want to do it. So why do you think a lot of black people are afraid to do what you did, basically, which was, it was a good change for the culture, I would say.
Yeah, I think people are scared because we still have to live in these cultural areas, you know what I mean? So sometimes they're worried about their safety. And I think a lot of people don't want to be labeled as a sellout.
Well, as you can see, I am not an Anglo-Saxon. When my mother was saved by the British Embassy to be saved from the Islamic Republic of Iran, she wasn't just expecting a liberal democracy in the West. She actually was also against what the cultural Islamists were doing in Iran, which is to label you, to crush you on a societal level, on a spiritual level. She thought she would be free here. First things first, policy-wise, we opened the borders. The people who were chasing my mother and me back in Iran and my family, they're now here, so that's lovely. But the people who are trying to save this kingdom, trying to save the Western civilization, are being named, well, they're being called names and they're being called the enemy of the state, the enemy of the West. And this is the biggest problem. We literally are sending a message here because we have people from different backgrounds, all the different colors, all the different genders. We've got 72 million genders here. Everybody's here. But now, these guys are not listening. Yeah. It doesn't matter because I've just got confirmation that while Peter Caldwell the Talk TV presenter is doing his show live. We have more viewers on Tousi TV live right now.
Yay!
And also we got all the other independent journalists as well. It doesn't matter if the weather is cold. It doesn't matter if the so-called human rights groups are not here with us to demand justice for Tommy Robinson. It doesn't matter because the message is getting out there around the world. We're going to have hundreds of thousands of people watching this. We're going to have millions of people talking about this on X, thanks to Elon Musk. And we have to demand justice because it's not really just about Tommy. It's about what Tommy represents. It's a symbolic fight. It's a spiritual fight. They want to bring down the messenger in order to crush the message. They want to crush everybody. That's what Trump said about America. They are going after Trump because they want to go after the good, ordinary American people. We're going to stay here to send a message to the mainstream media that your time is up, you are the dinosaurs, you are dying off, and we are the media.
Yay! So, Tommy Robinson, what made you start supporting him?
Okay, so I'll tell you the truth, yeah. When I went for Tommy protest the first time, I didn't go for a protest to support Tommy. I just went to record what's going on because I made videos about the UK, life in the UK, what's going on, anything on the street. And I went to be like, okay, what's going on? People are like, far right, far right. I was in the train. When I was coming out, I was asking for directions. And the guy at the tube, some black guy was like, oh, you're going for that EDL leader thing. I was like, bro, I don't know. I'm just going to record. And I was like, cool. I went out. I was recording from a distance. I was just observing. And the people there were like, hey, hi. They were saying hello to me. And I was like, all these far right people talking to me. I moved back. And the other one came again. I was like, hey, how you doing? The one was like, oh, I watch your videos. I'm like, really? I was like, wow. They were like, yeah, I like what you do about the UK. They were like, yeah, just come in and see what's going on. I joined. I was just recording. They were so very lovely. And then I listened to what Tommy was talking about. I decided to just ignore what the media said. And I listened to Tommy as a person and I tried to put the facts on the table. And I realized that what Tommy is saying is true. I never ever heard about the grooming gang before. It was when Tommy brought it up.
Me too, I didn't know.
Exactly, see? So that's what I got to know about Tommy. And I was like, this guy is saying facts. And I decided to go check more. And I watched his Oxford interview. I checked a lot of things. And to be honest, I'm going to tell you the fact here. Tommy, I don't know if you can record it, but Tommy has got balls. Like, massive. I come from Nigeria, from the north of Nigeria. Like, we're predominantly Muslim. I'm Christian. I've seen things. I've seen things that I can't talk about on my YouTube channel. So that's why I don't really talk about religion on my channel. Because if I talk, I'm sure I'm going to be in jail right now. So I don't really talk about what goes in Nigeria. But just Google Northern Nigeria, Google Boko Haram, Google Nigerian Islamists. Before Boko Haram, there are things going on. So I don't really talk about things like that. You understand? But for Tommy to come out and speak
About Nigeria.
no, he spoke about what's going on in the UK and things, and I related this to Nigeria, and it's very similar. Yeah, I get so many threats, and the funny thing is that I'm not even saying anything. All I do is people are calling coconut.
That's the same thing with me. I literally posted just a promo video of me and Tommy just standing next to each other. The amount of hate that I got, and I think what people fail to realize is that this is what the establishment wants. They want to divide and then conquer. So they try to, put white people against black people and paint out people like Tommy Robinson and his supporters to be far right extremists, so that black people like ourselves don't even listen to what he has to say. But you listened, I listened, and now we support him. And hopefully, would you give any words of encouragement for black people who still think that Tommy Robinson is this hateful man?
So my word of encouragement for black people is that I've seen what happens in Africa, I've seen what happens in Nigeria, and I've seen what happens here, and I can compare it. My advice would be like, one advice is, if the black people here can move to Africa and live there for like 5 years straight, then come back here, and then I'd like to know their views, basically. And then the second thing is this: whatever you see on the media, whatever you see anywhere, don't just believe it. Do not be gullible.
Yeah.
Check out facts for yourself.
Do the
All right?
research.
That's it. Just do the research.
What do we do with threats, intimidation, domineering tactics? That is exactly what the far left do. Far left totalitarian propaganda. Every time you see it, every time smell it, every time it comes for you, what you love, your bank account, your job security, do something about it. But I hear you say, I'm just one person, I'm just one man, what can I do? The new right is here and we are your protection. We are your foot soldiers. We are your bodyguards against this heinous crime of ruining people, their lives, their relationships, their slandering, During lockdown, it was no different. If you didn't comply, if you didn't wear a mask, and who pushed that agenda? None other than pig vomit in there, Piers Morgan. And as for you, Cardwell, calling Robinson a racist, you owe the British public and Tommy Robinson an apology. We will call out the silencing, the methods used by the left, the socialists, the communists, the Islamists, but also the liberals who love a bit of communism. They love a bit of socialism. It's true. It's time, patriots, to pick a side, the side of truth, of justice, of righteousness, or of evil. Silencing is the technique. But what are the consequences, patriots? The consequences are you feel demotivated, you feel demonized, you are emasculated. Ladies and gentlemen, you lose hope and faith, like the world has gone completely mad and you are totally alone. It fractures us further. That is what it is designed to do. It is designed to divide us. Previously, I've got no one to vote for. I've got no one to turn to. Yes, you do. The new right is here. We will not be bullied, intimidated, and we will not be dominated by liver cowards, socialists, liberals, demonic communists, and of course, the overall agenda by the mainstream legacy media. Independent journalism will rise, as will we, God-fearing patriots, brothers and sisters. Together, we can take our country back, and that means ending the silencing of people, leaving us emasculated, leaving us hopeless, leaving us faithless. I want to tell you now, because my audience is right in front of me, thanks to the good work of independent journalism. I was in Bournemouth last Saturday. I was at an anti-knife crime rally. An anti-knife crime rally. The far left were there trying to silence me. A white guy walked along with a mixed race kid, and the mixed race kid, 6 years old, he stuck both middle fingers up at me and he called me a racist, ladies and gentlemen. And it broke my heart. That is what weaponization does. That is what evil does. It is as disgusting as it gets. You can't argue with it. You can't save it. You can't deal with it in any way. Patriots, don't lose hope. What we need is inspiring, strong leadership from our governors, and we will settle for nothing less but to reinstill the necessary hope and faith in our downtrodden society. We will take our country back, patriots. Well done. Stand up to it. Join the new right.
So I am here with Urban Scoop. So we made a video together at the Tommy Robinson March and it went viral. There was a lot of positive comments and there was a lot of negative comments saying that I was a coon, you was a coon, what are we doing here? I want to ask you, what pushes you to, support Tommy Robinson despite all of the comments that people would say towards you and all the nasty comments?
Well, it's the truth. The truth matters in everything, I came out when Black Lives Matter were doing what they were doing on the streets, okay? And I was calling it what it is, a Marxist organisation. And I was getting called out for it and X, Y, Z. And I'm thinking, well, it's the truth. I go and support Tommy Robinson. It's the truth. So why am I scared to be doing that? And I'm more scared. And this is the funny thing, because I'm more scared of black people calling me a coon and say that at the start. Because, it's people that you're supposed to be identifying to, and they're saying because you want to speak the truth, you have to go this certain way. But when I go to the protests, you've been there as well. There is just so much love and so much, just togetherness and unity. And that is why I know it's important to speak out. The people who don't, the blacks out there, the other ethnics out there who want to use these names, I feel sorry for you, because at the end of the day, you are still mentally enslaved. These people up there, the Marxists, are mentally enslaving you. They talk about reparations, they talk about all that, but they are you're a slave of your mind.
And that's exactly how Marxism works. Marxism tries to convince a group of people that their main enemy is another enemy. But psychologically, what you are telling them is that the white man is their savior. The only person that can save them out of, I don't know, knife crime or black and black crime or even just being successful is the white man. That is mental enslavement. So obviously, this news presenter decided to make a comment saying Tommy Robinson's a racist. And a lot of people will be like, oh, it's not that serious to come out here and do all of these shenanigans just because of one comment. What's your response towards that?
It's not just one comment. It's one comment after one comment after one comment of people being emboldened enough to call us whatever they want to call us. I get called a white supremacist enabler, right? And I'm like, this is incredible. But then I go and look at it. I've had all my vaccinations, and during the times of COVID, I got caught an anti-vaxxer because I wanted my freedoms. When I went and looked at Sadiq Khan's ULEZ protest, Sadiq Khan come out and called them far right. They have to be. Every time an opportunity, they will stop the conversation by using this tag. Yeah. And that's why it's important, because this is a news company. This gets broadcasted around the world as truth. Yeah, a journalist cannot lie. But that journalist up there was happy to lie and say, you do the research into Tommy Robinson being racist, but he's not happy to come outside here and answer us and say to us, many people of colour saying to us, well, we have the proof because, you know, we're here and we can show it to you. He doesn't want to do that. Yeah. And that's why it's important that every opportunity when the truth is being bent or the truth is being mishandled, we come out and say it. So, yeah, it is one person, but it's one person today, but tomorrow it's going to be you. Believe me, go against the system, you're going to be next.
And I think people need to understand that the reason why Tommy Robinson has so many supporters is because it's bigger than Tommy Robinson. It's about freedom of speech. It's about democracy. It's about unity. That's what comes with this whole Tommy Robinson movement. But thank you so much for taking the time to interview me. Sorry, for letting me interview you.
That's all right.
And I really appreciate it. And guys, subscribe to Urban Scoop.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, just one
here today because enough is enough. Talk TV and Peter Cardwell and many of these news organisations that use this building for years and years and years, time and time again, they've wrongfully labelled the British people. They've called the British people far right, racist, fascist, hooligans, and this type of mislabelling needs to stop. Tommy Robinson 2 weeks ago was called a racist by Peter Cardwell. Now, a racist, the word racist is a strong term. It's not just a name, it's an accusation, and we can't allow this type of accusation to be falsely thrown at people. So we are here today because we've complained to Talk TV. We've tried to speak to Peter Cardwell. They've ignored us. So we're here today to protest and to say enough is enough. Because to call somebody a racist when they're not a racist, to call somebody far right when they're not far right, it's absolute abuse, and that abuse needs to stop. And today we come as the British people of all mixed ethnicities to say this type of abuse needs to stop. It has to stop, and it has to stop now. We're not going to take it anymore. Enough is enough. We have testimony of Tommy Robinson not being a racist, not being far right. So it has to stop, and it needs to stop right now. Peter Cardwell, we need an apology. Talk TV, we need an apology. You can't just wrongfully label people. That affects their security, that affects their life, that affects their livelihood. Tommy Robinson's in a cell right now because of the mislabeling of these media outlets. He's in a cell and his life's endangered every day because of the wrongful accusations that these so-called journalists make. Journalism has a responsibility, and with that responsibility should be the truth. And these lies that these media outlets are peddling, they need to stop. They have to stop now, and we are going to call it out every single time. This is the beginning of the pushback. Enough is enough.